A dystopian narrative is a text whereas society and the environment itself is the antagonist, which is actively working against the protagonist's aims and desires. Dystopias are often seen as cautionary tales, whereas both Cormac McCarthy's The Road and Pixar's Wall-E gives us clear warnings of the future, whilst making relation to the deeper meanings of what it is to be one small part of teeming civilization and of what it is to be human. Through the use of the antagonists of The Road, the cannibals, Cormac McCarthy explores the social issue of human psychology and humanity's blindness, and to what extent this issue can become when manipulated with the desperation of survival. In modern time, the fate of humanity is challenged with this every day due to political conflicts between nations. We could soon see this kind of scenario in the nearby future if we don't act upon keeping peace and remaining sustainable. The cannibals in the text symbolically translates to the desperation and hopelessness of those who were once humans, but forced to revert into sinful behaviors and violence. On the other hand, the cannibals symbolize the end of civilization, or in a more global way, it could mean what the world has turned into, a savage and selfish place where everyone kills everyone, no matter what. Spirituality within human relationships. Throughout the book, the man and boy coarsely experience hardships which inversely affects their values and attitudes towards their perspectives on life. Cormac McCarthy, as a current late father, is able to make relation to his characters, as during the writing of the book he was raising another son into adolescence. The father and son are hiding from the cannibals, so the father desperately grabs the gun and hands it to his son and tells him, "Don't be afraid," he said. "If they find you, you're going to have to do it. Do you understand?" Meaning that he prefers his son not suffering and just killing himself. As the quote says, we can see how strong and difficult human survival is. His dad is willing to distract the cannibals and suffer, then allow his son to face all of the tortures of the cannibals. This quote emphasizes the intensification of the spirituality regarding the will to live and prolonging survival, but in certain difficult times in life, one's spirituality must be disregarded in order to shorten another's suffering. This aspect in the real world, whereas relationships between humans is commonly selfish and we are losing our humanity and the relationship with whom we love. We are losing our personal connection with each other, and McCarthy tries to warn us that if we don't increase our spirituality, we will be forced into a difficult time to realize how much we are worth to each other. In Wall-E, the most obvious and visible warning Pixar portrays is the risk of neglecting the sustainability of our environment. The entirety of the plot is set within the result of Earth's waste, leaving it uninhabitable. Not only does this film warn us about our pollution habits, it also warns us that if we rely too much on technology to do our simple tasks, which is frequently shown in the movies such as hover seats instead of walking, we will become dangerously unhealthy and obese. This concept is becoming slowly reality as we are becoming more reliant to overconsume and on technology. The intro of the movie uses the song Hello Dolly, a song of the late 50s, which both connects the post-apocalyptic world of Wall-E to the aesthetics of the 1950s. The 50s was the period of both consumer society and of nuclear paranoia, an image which is reinforced by the subsequent 50s styling of the by and large outlets we see a bit later in the film. The by and large outlets in the movie can be seen as symbolization and warning of corporate companies and technology in our present times, and both of these dystopian texts make clear warnings of the future. The Road utilizes its narratives of its characters, such as dialogue and mentality, to perceive how our spirituality can be lost in difficult times and how it can causally affect our human relationships, whilst Wall-E directly makes statements of our pollution habits and how it could soon become a defining issue. They both make both of these texts, through their own imagined worlds, make contextual references and successfully predict certain warnings that we should not neglect towards the future.